Getting our weekly update with Spring Row football coach Kody Moore. And Kody, you went over to Leroy Ostrander last Friday night. You knew it was going to be a challenging contest. Unfortunately, things did not go your way. What were the takeaways from last Friday night's game?
Well, you said it exactly, Darren. We knew last week coming in that it was an extremely talented Leroy team that we were going against. They're a definite section favorite to win the section. So we knew going in it was going to be an uphill battle, but we still felt confident in our game plan. Coming out, I think the big thing that you saw throughout the game is how quality their defensive line is. They are big, athletic kids. They really get after you with their pass rush. And that's what I thought probably the big difference in the game was. Overall, actually, we gave up 46 points, but our defense was on the field the entire game. And actually, they battled pretty well. I thought early on, especially, we funneled the Johnson kid pretty well. He's a handful. He's a short, little, quick guy, but we did a good job of rallying to the ball. So defensively, I was actually pretty happy with what we did. Eli Solom led the way on defense with 16 tackles, so he had a big night. The big thing is we just got to get figured out going forward is what we're going to do up front to get the job done. I should highlight also Reed Bierke. He kind of had our one big highlight of the night. He returned a kick for a touchdown. And just in general, he had an overall pretty good game. A couple catches. He had some carries for us. He played hard. He did end up getting hurt right at the end of the first half, and he broke his collarbone. It looks like he's going to be done for the year. But I just want to give a shout out to Reed for all his efforts. He's been a great leader for us. So.
And you mentioned you want to get a few things figured out up front on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. What are the things you're focusing on getting better heading into this week's game?
Well, we're still, it's tough to say this, but heading into week 7, we're still trying to find that combination that's going to work the best for us, the combination of guys. And we're battling some injuries up there, but we have some younger guys that we're getting in the mix now that we feel like at the end of the game there last Friday night, they showed some good signs. Emmett Engeldinger, he stepped in as a freshman guard. Sean Crouch stepped in as a freshman center. And actually, they held their own there that later part of the game. So we're just hoping to continue to grind and work. And I think our technique is getting better as far as our pass sets, and it's continuing to just understand how to fire off in the run game. And I think Coach Sanis, our offensive line coach, he's going to have our guys there and ready to go by the time playoffs come.
And when it comes to those young guys getting experienced on the offensive line, you've got a situation where a lot of those guys are really getting on the job training as you play right now. How much of it is just getting out there and experiencing things that, hey, you know what, if I can hold my own here, I could get better next week and gain some confidence?
Yeah, it's a major confidence thing. You know how it is when you first get into your first varsity start or your first varsity action, it seems like things are moving a million miles an hour. So to get these guys' feet wet and just get them comfortable with the speed of the game, their confidence is going to continue to build. And you could actually see that from the time they got in that game on Friday night and then up until the end. And then even yesterday at practice as well, you can just see a difference in their confidence. So that's exciting going forward.
And what were maybe some of the other positives you took away from last Friday night? I know the margin was the margin, but sometimes in 9-man football games can get away from you pretty quickly. What were some of the other positives you took away from Friday night?
Well, I love the way our defense battled the entire time. Offensively, we put our defense in a tough spot a lot on short fields, just for the fact that we weren't able to get a whole lot sustained and going. So the way that our guys battled through the end in an absolute slugfest like that, because it was a physical slugfest. We were getting beat up pretty good, but we continued to battle. And as a coach, you're always proud of a team that in those situations, they still plug away and battle. So that would be my biggest thing. Tyson Grindy, he was playing quarterback for us. He took a lot of shots, but he got up every single time. He continued to plug away. He stayed positive throughout. So those are the things you take away that you feel good about. that, the kids are soaking in those messages about just continuing to play hard, play every play like your last. We kind of saw an example of that with what happened to Reed, and he gave a nice little talk at film on Monday about, what it means to continue to play every play like your last, because it can happen at any time. So those are things that we'll continue to focus on moving forward.
And you got Kingsland coming to town on Friday night. What do you expect out of them?
They are a much improved program. They came down to 9-man a few years ago, and they've struggled, the last few years, but they are much improved. They've won a few games. Last week, I think they put up 54 points or something like that against Lyle. So they have a dynamic, explosive offense, a couple real athletic kids that get after the quarterback on defense. So they present a good challenge. And again, it's that thing now, I want to see our guys bounce back from a little losing streak here, bounce back and grind away. And on Friday night for parents night, go out and get a win. And, that would be a great way to thank our parents for all they do.
All right, Coach, hopefully you can do indeed that and take care of business Friday night and get back on the winning track. We wish best of luck.
Thanks a lot, Darren.
Kody Moore is the head coach of the Spring Grove Lions. Kingsland coming to town on Friday night.